The Gollum Cave Disaster. August 18, 2005. 5 friends decided to explore a place known as Gollum's Cave, also referred to as the Cave of Death. They arrived at the entrance at 3 a.m. One of the friends stayed behind, while the other 4 entered the cave. The entrance required crawling through a shallow pool, which led to a fork. The group chose the left passage, which soon brought them to another pool. This second pool led to a submerged tunnel, just 15 feet long and around 3 to 4 feet in diameter. Each person had to pass through it one at a time, completely underwater. After crossing it, they reached a chamber with only about 90 centimeters of air above the water. This area had dangerously low oxygen levels, often referred to by cavers as bad air. The 4 inside likely realized this too late. One person attempted to swim back through the underwater tunnel but failed to find the exit. Due to the poor air quality, they likely panicked and quickly lost breath. The same fate happened one after another. Outside, the friend who waited became worried and entered the cave. He called for help. Rescuers eventually arrived, pumped oxygen into the cave, and drained some water. But it was too late. All 4 friends had drowned. The cave was later sealed off with concrete. The Hermit Cave Incident. On April 5, 1999, 21-year-old Robert Kennedy from Oklahoma went on a camping trip near Hermit Cave with his stepbrother Richard and friend Ben. The next morning, driven by curiosity, Robert and Richard decided to explore the largely unmapped cave while Ben headed home. Robert entered a side passage that narrowed significantly. Richard waited outside, as the space was too tight for 2. Robert promised not to go far, but he reached a formation known as the keyhole, a tight, sloped passage where you couldn't back out feet first. He pressed forward, squeezing through a steep downward tunnel, holding his breath to fit. Eventually, gravity forced him deeper into the crevice. He became stuck, unable to move forward or back, pinned by the rock. He called out, but Richard couldn't hear. Eventually, Richard entered the cave, realized Robert was trapped, and went to get help. Rescuers arrived within the hour, but the space was so tight that only one rescuer could work at a time. They tried widening the tunnel and pumping in warm air, but progress was slow. After hours of effort, they reached Robert's feet. He was still alive, but barely breathing. Attempts to pull him free failed. The limestone walls couldn't support a pulley system. The team continued chipping away, and after 5 hours, they freed Robert. But by then, it was too late. He was declared dead shortly after being brought out. The Shaft Sinkhole Tragedy. May 28, 1973. 9 divers planned a descent into Mount Gambier's Shaft Sinkhole in Australia. The entrance was narrow, leading to a large underwater chamber. A beam of light from the surface helped orient divers, as long as they stayed in the main area. Everyone had agreed to stay above 200 feet. But 4 divers broke from the plan and headed to the western chamber, aiming to reach 250 feet, a depth considered extremely risky in 1973 due to limited gear and no mixed gas tanks. As they descended, nitrogen narcosis began affecting one diver, who immediately returned to the surface. Some followed, but 4 others continued. The deeper they went, the more silt they stirred up. Visibility dropped to near zero. They lost all sense of direction. With oxygen running low and nitrogen narcosis worsening, all 4 drowned. Their flashlights and camera were found later at the bottom, but none of the divers survived. If you enjoy these deep cave stories, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, and tell us in the comments what stories you want us to cover next.